Okay, so now we'll look at fixing the alignment on an aluminium scooter. In this case it's a Sprite, and you can see that although the front wheel is straight, the handlebar doesn't line up with the front wheel, and it makes it rather difficult to ride properly. Also, in bad cases it can actually completely turn, which of course is not safe at all to ride. Before we start tightening any bolts, we need to make sure that the gap in the clamp here lines up with the longest slot in the handlebar tube. This is crucial because the clamp is trying to close this gap up against the tube inside, which the front wheel is attached to. If it's not lined up, it's trying to pull onto a solid piece of metal rather than the gap. So if that doesn't line up, slacken the bolts off until the clamp can be moved around so it's in line. Then tighten the bolt up a little bit to stop the clamp moving. And we put it onto the floor, a foot either side of the front wheel, line up the handlebars and just tighten the two bolts enough to keep it in position. That's gone out very slightly, so we just pull it back and just a little bit just to hold it in position for the moment. Now we put the scooter across the knee, and preferably using a breaker bar. This is a 3/8 drive breaker bar, a 3/8 drive relating to this, the size of the socket, and it's a 5mm socket, 5mm Allen key socket. Place it in the bolt head and making sure it's completely upright. Use your other hand to push it in and keep it upright and pull as much as you can. Then go to the next one, same thing again until you feel you can't do any more. Back to the next one, pull again, and then back to this one, pull again. This way you'll get more or less the same amount of pressure on both bolts, and it'll be pulling that tube tight up against the fork tube. That's crucial to stop it moving. That won't now slip.